Welcome to the Hustle Skirt Podcast, the show that brings you economic equity for everyone, every day, with your founder and host, Debra Gould. Yes, I am Debra Washington Gould, President and CEO of Debra Gould and Associate Inc., a management consulting and performance management firm based in New Orleans, Louisiana since 1996. So that's the business of Debra Gould and Associate Inc. But today is all about the Hustle Skirt Podcast and my guest, DIANE B. Lyons, CMP, DMCP President. DIANE is the president of Accents on Arrangement. So we're going to hear her credentials in a moment, but let me just introduce my audience who could be just joining us for the first time, because you might know DIANE and you want to click on the podcast. So let me tell you about the mission and what it's all about. The Hustle Skirt podcast is to promote, communicate, and amplify the influence of men and women entrepreneurs in my network who are for profit. You heard me right, for profit, or C-suite, or a higher executive with corporations or a nonprofit. So that is really what you will hear about the Hustle Skirt. But the meaning, now you got to listen to me really clear now. The meaning of the Hustle Skirt is to never give up. Don't take no for an answer. Believe in yourself. Be confident, be bold, be strong, be focused, and be courageous. And by God, you want to be prosperous on the journey as we deliver some of the best products and services to our clients that give us the privilege to serve them. So that's the meaning of the hustle. Now, my big why means a lot to me. I must be the change I want to see in others. So Debra Gould and Associate Inc. in this podcast is all about abundance mentality. I don't come from scarcity mentality. There is enough in the universe for all of us to do our absolute best and give back to others and to be of service to all mankind. But my next big why, my tenacious desire is greater than my fears. So I'm just having fun with this podcast. I'm putting it out there. I hope it's a blessing to everyone that I've had the privilege to know in my lifetime. So with that being said, I want to welcome my guest, DIANE. How are you today, DIANE?
I'm fabulous. I'm
Seemed
so
like just less than 24 hours, I had a chance to see you, and you looked marvelous last night at the event.
So do you, my dear. I love your
Fun. I had fun. I love the activity, the heads and the tails, and everything was just excellent about hearts, the hearts in hands. Eslin H. Banks is a phenomenal person, and so happy for her. But it's always good to kind of hang out in the same space with you, DIANE. So let's do this. I want my audience to hear your credentials. And you're saying it could be a little lengthy, but I want to give it is just you deserve this. It's well deserved. DIANE B. Lyons, CMP, DMCP, President. DIANE began her career in New Orleans hospitality industry in 1977 and shifted to destination management by 1985. She founded Accents on Arrangements in 1991, serving high-profile clients like McDonald's and the NFL Super Bowl. Way to go, DIANE. Her company also offers Accents on Children's Arrangement, providing childcare for event attendees across North America. DIANE is actively involved in trade associations and boards, and she is an advocate for women's causes, founding the nonprofit FestiGals that I was so blessed to be a part of as a panel as well as a speaker. So thank you, Diane, and I will forever be grateful for that experience. To educate FestiGals, the intent is to educate, entertain, and celebrate women while giving back to women in the community, as well as creating NOLA ChristmasFest with the New Orleans Ernest N. Morial Convention Center. With over 40 years in the industry, Diane is a leading expert and influential business owner. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome this powerful, influential, positive business owner in the city of New Orleans. Hi, Diane. Thank you
Hello,
for being
Debra.
here today.
I'm delighted. I was trying to remember how long we've known each other, and it's been at
It's
least,
been over, I would say, 15
yeah,
years or more.
yeah, or 20, I think, maybe.
Okay.
Um,
I
you
did
are
say and more.
and more. You are such an inspirational speaker and powerful, soulful deliverer. You taught me lots as well over the years about courage for women to be confident and courageous. Those are your terms. And, we volunteered together for Dress for Success. And you came in and talked to those women who were down on their hardship, and we pulled them up. And you just inspired me while we would do talks, and you would inspire these ladies who had hard times to get back out there. It was all about confidence and persistence. I think you've got a book called that. And persistence is what I'm going to
I
talk
live
about
it
as
every
well.
day. But
Get
you're
up and
absolutely
go.
right. That is the beginning, the Dress for Success program.
Yes.
And you facilitated that process very well. And in addition to myself, other dynamic women who have made a difference in the impact of other women standing in the need. Because, in life, sometimes we all fall down, but we do get up. And that is
Need a
the
hand up.
richness of what you were able to do. And I'm
Yes,
glad I
a hand up is what
participated.
we need. We all need that, the hand up to help us with our sisters to
So one of the things, I'm going to
be
get all in your business, Diane, because one of the things in
on
your
because,
bio that you didn't share, and I want you to take
all
this
right,
opportunity to plug, but I'm going to kick it off. I want folks to know how to contact Access on Arrangement. So I want folks to know I have your website, www.access-dmc.com. With your permission, I'm going to give the work number, and you can share all the other things, the email
sure.
and other means of contact. But that work number for Access on Arrangement, area code 504-524-1227. And that website again, www.access-dmc.com. So we're going to just jump right into my questions so I can give you a spotlight moment to repeat that contact information and anything that I may have left out in that bio. I want you to take this opportunity and platform to share it with my audience. My first question, what
Yes.
motivates you, Diane B. Lyons?
What motivates me? An internal drive to, and my family and friends like you, other women in need. That's what motivates me I'm a problem solver. I see an issue, and whether it's working with a corporate client to create something very magical on a budget that's always not as big as you want it to be for the big dream. I'm the person that clients call to say, this is what I need to do. And I'm not sure how I can do it. Last year, we did a meeting in the Grand Canyon, and this year we're coming to New Orleans. And so we want it to be really better than last year's meeting. So then we have vendors and resources that we can put together, 1-day program, an afternoon program, or 5 days. And I also do, the solution with Accent, it's ACCENT, on arrangements, and it's Accent, ACCENT hyphen DMC, like Delta Michael Charlie. So I also have 2 companies. I have another company called Accent on Children's Arrangements. So that company, I was I was a teacher in my first life, and then I got into events when my children were very small, and I thought, I don't want to substitute teacher. And I found out about the entire New Orleans hospitality industry, which of course I had no one knows that that's really out there. It's a hidden industry. So I started as a tour guide, and from that, people brought me into their office to solve the logistical problems of moving 1,000 people in 30 minutes from their hotels to the Superdome for a meeting. And so I found out I was really good at that. And I'm very good with Louisiana history, and particularly New Orleans' diverse culture. Over the years, I've met so many entertainers that I can call and they call me right back, that are maybe haven't seen. There's a person I'm talking to right now. I have not worked with him since the last Super Bowl in 2013. I texted him the other day and I said, "Is this you?" And he said it is. And we're working on something for next February in New Orleans. So I guess what motivates me to quickly people and the excitement of creating magic and solving problems.
In a way, in my observing you, Diane, you are a fixer
I am a
and
fixer.
you
That's
are a people person and you're very approachable. But I love watching you on social media, the family celebration of birthdays, and you just make a big deal because you're a passionate person. I just wanted to
Family's
share
first.
that with you as I observe my friend and how in your movement in all the spaces that you're in. My next question, more specific one. What is the best praise or constructive or useful feedback you, Diane, have received by family, friends, business colleagues,
Mm.
advocacy business groups? Would you please share that with my audience?
So the one thing or lots of things?
Start wherever you want because I just want to know the best praise or constructive or useful feedback. So if you want to talk about family,
Yes.
friends, business
Well,
colleagues, because you
you
have
know,
many.
I had the experience when I created that nonprofit, as you said, FestiGals, which we ran for 11 years until COVID. And it was about celebrating women. After Katrina, we as women put our city back together. We were the drivers, of it was our mothers, the sisters we have, sisters like you who came together to rebuild our city. And I felt we had to celebrate. So I had some spectacular speakers along the way. And one of them was Carla Harris. She is
I was
an
in that
amazing
audience.
woman. Yes, an amazing woman with uh, Morgan Stanley. And she interviewed with us with an intern. And the intern said, "What should I do in business? What's my first step?" And I thought her wisdom was so amazing that I've taken that with me. And that's the most empowering thing. Everyone needs to learn to sell. Okay. We're selling ourselves, we're selling our process, we're selling our family, we're selling with everyone. You need to learn to sell, you need to be confident. And so I guess what people told me was to step into the light. And I was very shy when I first started, and I was very not confident.
Get out of here.
Yes,
Diane Shy.
I was very, intimidated, and just I learned. So people gave me praise when I was a tour guide, like, "Oh, I've never had anything like this in my life. You know everything about New Orleans." And an event I did during Super Bowl, a very high level, it was a VVIP party, a private home uptown that was put on by the NFL. And an ESPN executive wrote the next day and said, as I drove up to this party at XYZ home, he said the music was wafting out to the street. The candles were lit everywhere. There were bartenders inside. And I thought I heard a good rendition of Dr. John, the famous New Orleans musician. And he said, I walked up the steps, and who was sitting in the middle of the hallway but Dr. John, banging out such a night. And so that was a great compliment to me, because he then went on to say how incredibly fabulous this event was. And I guess currently that's what I feel made a difference, because I'm focused on Super Bowl for 2025 in New Orleans. There are many compliments. And, my accent on children's arrangements that I do, I am praised by parents. Parents can put them now all across the country. We work with 105 meetings and associations. We move in and set up childcare centers. We're there for 3 days. We create safety, security, and fun for those children. And I get accolades from parents all the time about that. So I've been very blessed, very, very
You
blessed.
go. Yes, that is a blessing.
That is a
And you
blessing. It was an
and
idea I had.
stand in that blessing because you put all your heart into it, Diane. One more question.
Yes.
Then I want you to share your give you your spotlight moment. How did you come up with the name of your company?
Well, that's a funny story. Um, I had been in the hospitality industry for 10 years when I started my company in 1991. Now, I guess I'd been in it 6 years, 6 years. And so my children were 12 and 8. And so I had learned how to sell, I'd learned how to produce events and solve problems. And I said, I'm going to open a company. And they were my biggest supporters. My sons were like, Mom, you got to do this. And I guess we went through a lot of names, and I had talked to someone that had a very successful transportation company in New Orleans with a family name on it. And she said, don't ever put your name on it because you can never sell the company, because nobody wants it, which is not true. She sold her company very successfully. But I thought, well, what's at the top of the alphabet? And what is it that I'm going to do? So accent was ACC. ENT at the top of the alphabet. And so I knew competitors would look at us first. And I also knew that we're accenting New Orleans. We're accenting activities in New Orleans. We're accenting music in New Orleans. We accent on children across the country. So that's what the word is very
What a
versatile.
great business strategy. I like that story, Diane.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we're going to move on to your spotlight moment, but before we leave this part, unless you want to hold it to the spotlight moment, I I want my audience to hear you say it. The company name, the website, the telephone number, and email. So make sure before we leave this interview, you share your contact information. So take it away, Diane. This is your moment. What else would you like our audience to know about accents on arrangement?
Well, I think always try. I think if you're a businesswoman in business or you're a business person in business and you're trying to succeed, know that it's not always a fun. People say, well, I love what you do. You plan parties, you're a party planner. Well, it's a lot more than that. It takes a team of people to pull together, even as if you did a baby shower for a friend, it's a team of people doing it. So it's not as easy as it seems, but you have to just persevere to be, someone told me once, another great compliment, that Diane, you can take a sow's ear and make it into a silk stocking. And she said, you don't understand, other people can't do that. Because I think everybody can do what I do. I have no, I think it's hard for me to accept that other people don't see what I see in a vision. So I know what it looks like. I think persistence is the biggest thing you can do if you're a business owner. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get beat up. You're going to wonder where the next check is going to come from. You're going to find out something happened. You were embezzled against, or you didn't pay your taxes, but you paid somebody to do it. There's just road bumps. And to me, that's a journey that you take. And for me, this business has been about meeting fabulous people like you, working with people like you to create magical moments and experiences for them. I've also been
One
a
of the
person.
things I've observed and the privilege to be in the same company is one of your strong team members, Sandra.
Yes,
So, so
yes.
she's
Sandra and I
been
worked together
someone
for
that
11
I
years, and
adore, and just watching the two of you do some amazing work together.
I have another team member, Johnny Adams, who really
Johnny.
supports everything I do. She
Mhm.
is there. Clients love her because she also is a problem solver. And I have done
And Laurie Singleton is, you just you've been able to collaborate with some amazing people.
things like just talk items and clients that, I mean, I started off with clients that supported women and wanted to see me be successful. And, you know, it was tough because I didn't go to business school. Did you go to business school? I didn't go to business school.
Yes, that
You
was
did.
where I started in undergrad, and also my master's degree is in management. Yes.
Well, I was a pre-K teacher.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I have to tell you, you know, one of the things you have to learn for group business is the bathroom is this way and food isn't ready yet until we open the doors. You know,
Well, it
so
was important to have the startup concept and wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I also needed to have the back office knowledge too and
yes, it was
skills.
a
Yeah.
that was a hard struggle for me because
Hmm.
I did not have the business degree and I didn't have accounting. So I took every course I could. I was lucky enough to go to Wharton School for a small program. I was very involved. There are many associations for meeting planners like me. So Professional Conference Meeting Association, Meeting Planners International. I learned so much and I really learned from my clients filling their need and them coaching me through something. And I also learned from the people that work for me because I learned, you know, they're a picture of what I give out. And so if you've done something offensive, you're like, oh, I didn't know that's what, you know, or if you've done something nice and how they're resonated. I think that's tough. And anyway, I think everyone should learn how to sell. You should learn how to do business and, you know, what do you want? And look at that goal annually. And you're going to have to correct as you go along. Some people just know where they're going, like Oprah, and it just happened. She just constantly looked at her goal and got it going. It's been a bigger struggle, but you know, that's my journey in this life is to have the confidence that I now have. That's been
And
my
guess what?
development.
Guess what, Diane? We are at the end of the Hustle's Great podcast. But I want you to take 30 seconds, give that contact information so others can know about the children arrangement and just wishing you continued success with the 2025 NFL Super Bowl coming to our great city.
And all the other good business that's
Yeah.
coming to New Orleans after COVID.
And we're going to keep each other lifted in prayer that FestiGals will continue and all the other amazing things that you bring to globally with accents on arrangement. But we're not going to leave this interview without you sharing your contact information. Would you take
Thank you.
a
So
couple
my
of
name,
seconds to do that?
okay, my name is DIANE, Diane, B like boy, Lyons, Lyons. So that's who I am. And my company is at the best way to find us is www.accent, ACCENT, the hyphen or the dash, whatever you want to call it, DMC, Delta Michael Charlie. That's a destination management company, which is what I represent. It's a group of people that know local everything and know how to produce, and we specialize in events and we specialize in activities and give backs and program logistics. That's what a destination management company does. So it's accent-dmc.com. The email address is info@accent-dmc.com. That's the best way to get me and my team to respond as quickly as possible. You can go to our website. We also are Accent on children's arrangements. So that is AOCA, but you can find it all on the main Accent website. But Accent on children's arrangements is amazing. We've done as many, we recently did 600 children this summer. For 4 days, we organized them to go everywhere in Chicago. So we travel and produce children's events all across the country. And we work with clients who need that as a woman or a man to attend a meeting. They need to know that their children are safe, secure, and that they can attend without worrying about who's caring for their children. Thank you,
Well,
Debra.
Diane, I'm going to say thank you for engaging Debra Gould and Associate and Hustle's Great Podcast to really just share your information with my audience. I hope the phone rings nonstop, that other folks that now I know when I'm planning an event in New Orleans, I'm going to contact Diane. So
Absolutely.
thank you. This has been a tremendous and blessing, this interview today. But for right now, I'm going to close out so that we want people to watch this program.
Right.
So again, the objective is to empower you to speak power boldly about your vision, your mission, and the purpose of what gets you fired up and passionate, just the way you heard DIANE share this afternoon. Make sure to visit the website so you have a chance to check this out again on Access on Arrangements, www.persistencelane.com, where you can subscribe to the Hustle Skirt podcast, 9 different platforms. And by the way, if you really receive value in this particular interview today, go to the podcast and click on iTunes and subscribe. We would certainly appreciate that. And if that's too much to ask, if you would kindly tell a friend, a neighbor, another business colleague to really take a look at this particular podcast with DIANE this day. With that being said, you're listening to the Hustle Skirt podcast, the show that brings you economic equity for everyone, every day, with your founder and host, Debra Gould. DIANE, until the next big event that we get to hang out together, I will see you then, and thank you for the value of your time today on the Hustle Skirt. Love you.
It's an honor.
Take care.
It's an honor. Thank you so much.
Continued success to you, DIANE, and keep on soaring to greater heights.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.